Okay, here's my story. My name is Troy Williams, and I grew up in the church. I grew up in a Baptist church called New Faith. And, at this church, I was a junior deacon. I was on the ushers board. I was in the choir. And I was just real into church. I would go to church every Sunday, Wednesday. I would be eating at that Shipley's when I was supposed to be in Sunday school. So I grew up in the church, but I was just caught up in religion. I was caught up in this mindset to, as long as you go to church, as long as you do the spiritual thing, as long as you do the church thing, then you're going to be all right. And so that and my sin drove me away from just the whole church thing. I began to curse. I began to fornicate. I began to smoke weed. And in the year of 2007, I went to jail 3 times. And in the third time, people say 3 times is a charm, but in the third time I went in there and I was still trying to live the same life, but in a different way. And so I remember calling my dad and saying, "Dad, I don't want to be in here. It's too many men. I'm not a gangster. I don't like being in here." And my dad said, "If you can't change after this, I don't know what to tell you." And God changed my life at that moment. And from that moment on, I've never been the same again. Once the Holy Spirit hit me, once God's grace hit me, once the cross of Jesus Christ hit me, I then began to speak the gospel inside of jail. And, I began to preach and I began to run my mouth. Immediately, I began to go out to Sharpstown and to just speak the gospel of Jesus Christ, because I realized that this Jesus Christ loved me so much that in spite of my sin, in spite of my rebellion, in spite of the fact that I was sinful, Jesus Christ still died on the cross for my sins. And because of that, I own my life.